This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of the show. I want to thank all our listeners for tuning in 2015 and recognizing that we are one of the largest, if not the largest, publisher of internet entrepreneurial content in Massachusetts. And as much as I want to thank our listeners, I also want to thank the person who's my co-host today, the esteemed attorney Peter Morrison from the law firm of Cohn, Rasnick, Morrison, and Plout.
Wow. Thanks, Jeff. It's great to be here.
Our next guest, someone I think you know very well, Robert Hansel of RSH Consulting, Inc. Welcome, Robert.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start in general. Just tell us about RSH Consulting.
Sure. Well, we're sort of right now very much of a niche computer security company. We deal exclusively in IBM mainframes, large systems that operate in the background, crunch the numbers and keep track of all the accounts of most of the banks and insurance companies in the U.S. And we deal pretty much largely with one software product that provides that security. It's an IBM product called RACF, which stands for Resource Access Control Facility. And our role with that product is we go in and we're invited in to do reviews, to examine the controls to see if things are set up properly. And then oftentimes, after providing our report, we're invited back to help remediate issues and make improvements and tune the system and the like. And that's largely what we do.
Robert, it's not simple, is it?
It is not. The complexity comes in. You know, these systems are very large. So on one of my client systems alone, they have 700,000 users. So this is not small systems. So what you're trying to do is sort out the access of these 700,000 people, make sure they can get to the things that they need to do their job, and they can't get to the things that they shouldn't have access to. And there's quite a myriad of resources on a mainframe system that you have to protect. And what makes it challenging is in a mainframe world, the software that I deal with just sort of sits in the background and answers security questions like, can Johnny log on? Can Sally access this file? Well, all the software components that run on the mainframe have to be told to talk to RACF to provide their security questions. And if they don't, then half the security decisions aren't being made and the system isn't well controlled. So that and the fact that many of our clients now, they've had these systems for 30 to 40 years. They've been,
in the technology world, that just sounds outdated already.
It may in some respects. I mean, the products have been around. I mean, the mainframe goes back, its legacy goes back to 1964. When the first IBM generalized mainframe came out, and the current mainframes are all built on the legacy of those systems. And the early systems didn't have any security of their own. It wasn't until 10 years after, more than that actually, they came out that they started to provide security software of the type that I work with now for the mainframe. So it's always been sort of a catch-up mode. And over these periods of times, the clients that I'm dealing with, in many cases, the responsibility for security has changed hands 5 or 6 times over that period of time. The people who set it up originally are long since gone. The other people who have come along have added to it and maybe they've fiddled with it. But by the time I get my hands on it, usually it's a spaghetti mess. No one quite understands the architecture. It may not have been set up with a specific plan. And so my job now is to go in and try and figure out what's valid, what's not, and then what's missing and what needs to be added.
If somebody wants to learn more about RSH Consulting, how would they find you?
The best way is our website, obviously, www.rshconsulting. It's all in string, rshconsulting.com.